Last night at dinner, we discussed the results of the elections in the United States. The United States is our biggest economic and trading partner. We share a unique historical bond, and our citizens share millions of friendships across the Atlantic. So it is important to build good relations with the new administration from the very beginning on. And this is how we will continue to shape the positive transatlantic agenda. I had the opportunity yesterday afternoon to congratulate Donald J. Trump on the phone early on. We discussed, among others, the topic of Ukraine and defense, trade and energy. And it was a brief discussion about these topics. And of course, I'm looking forward to develop these topics together.
Now, of course, you know that the European Council held an informal meeting here in Budapest, but not for the first time. Hungary has already been a host, or rather, a chairman of the Council, but we didn't have any formal council at that time, so it was a special honor for us to play host to the leaders of Europe here. Now, of course, everybody knows that there are issues regarding which there are significant political conflicts between the European Commission and Hungary. Of course, I have my disagreements with the President of the European Commission, but Ursula von der Leyen is now our guest. We invited her. She accepted our invitation, and of course we are receiving her with due politeness and respect. And therefore, there was no sharp disagreement or debate during today's meeting. We'll have our fights when we get back to Brussels.
Friendly environment, removing unnecessary red tape. Why should Europeans believe that things will be different this time round?
How to negotiate with Trump on trade? Sorry.
Yes. So I think, first of all, engage. Very important. What we have started yesterday. Secondly, discuss about common interests. And there are common interests that we have. So, and then go into negotiations. Common interests are, for example, this is one topic that we touched upon. I would not say discussed, but we touched upon yesterday. It's the whole topic of LNG. We still get a lot of LNG via Russia, from Russia. And why not replace it by American LNG, which is cheaper for us and brings down our energy prices?
More likely that the EU will actually develop and implement these new financial instruments?
We have very carefully shaped the financial support for Ukraine. As you know, the 50 billion euro Ukraine facility that is there, and that we have now, in addition, the G7 loan that will give Ukraine already important relief until 2026. And you know that we have a fair share for every partner in the G7. They all contribute to this $50 billion loan that is given to Ukraine in addition. But what I think is more important that we discuss with our American friends also the fact that Russia is not only a threat to Europe, but a threat to the global security as a whole. Because Russia is not only an autocratic state, it is threatening democracies, but it is also increasingly becoming aligned with others like Iran, North Korea, and together with China, fueling this war.
Hungary is very tough on migration issue, as you know. But when the war erupted, we immediately opened the border for the Ukrainian refugees and let them to come, and we have them much. Hundreds of thousands arrived and got all the aid and help what they have needed. So I think we did very well with our limits, which stays and keep Hungary on the field of humanitarian cooperation and aid, and don't let the Hungarians to move closer to the war.
You said that you are not isolated, but you also said that you have different views.
On what Ukraine should do, that was your other question. It's not my job to answer to that question. Ukraine is a sovereign country. Hungary is a sovereign country. What Ukraine will do it's exclusively belonging to the Ukrainians. They decided to fight, and they fought heroically anyway. It's their decision to continue or not. So what I'm doing, I try to isolate, if I say in that way, Hungary from the danger of the war and possible getting worse situation which can have bad impact on Hungary.
Understand the languages. President Charles Michel, you have the floor.
I just try to explain to the President that, please, my friend, the time is not on your side. And I'm ready to help you to create somehow a ceasefire and then later on a bearable peace. I was rejected because the President said that, Viktor, this is not my point. My point is, as President of Ukraine, that the time is on our side. I said, thank you, President, I can't do more. So what I have done after that, realizing that neither of the warring parties is ready to make a ceasefire, and both of them are convinced that the time is on their side, I continue my efforts to organize a kind of international climate as broad as possible to create a pro-peace climate around the war, and then to influence the warring parties that sooner or later they have to have a ceasefire and then some negotiations, and to restore communication. So that's what I have done. I would never dare to say what should be done to the Ukrainians. Their country, their future, their life, sovereign country.